Hello there, I'm Ben. Welcome to my channel, wokeyide, which roughly means I can do it in Mandarin Chinese. My goal is to show you that if I can do it, then you have no excuse. So today, we're going to start by making cheesy bread, but with a twist. By using glutinous rice flour and tapioca flour, two ingredients which you typically wouldn't consider using for making bread. You might be thinking, that's a bit weird, but I have been assured that this is a really good recipe, so I'm gonna give it a shot and we'll see how it goes. So this recipe comes from a Hong Kong website, so I'll link the website and the recipe in the description below. So given that my Chinese reading is pretty poor, I'm just gonna be using Google Translate on this page and we'll see how that goes. So yeah, super smoky cheese mochi bobo recipe. Yep, here we go. So here's what we're going to need. 60 grams of milk, or 60 milliliters, or 4 tablespoons, or 12 teaspoons. 1 gram of young salt, according to Google Translate, which is just fine salt. And that's 0.176 teaspoons. Easy. I've got a half teaspoon here. That looks like a third. Ding! 10 grams, or 2 teaspoons of unsalted butter. 10 grams or 1 tablespoon of high gluten or high protein flour. I've used some bread flour with 13% protein. And we're just going to sieve it. Oops. Well, that's definitely more than 1 tablespoon. $30 grams or 3 tablespoons of tapioca flour or starch, which is the same thing, I hope. 20 grams or just over 2 tablespoons of glutinous rice flour. Heat up the milk, butter, and salt mixture on low heat. Wait, why do I need to add the glutinous rice flour and tapioca starch? Oh well. So, we're supposed to put the bread flour first, but I've just done everything in one go. So, oh well. Turn off heat and work the flour mixture in. Next up, 30 grams of egg. I don't know what 1 egg weighs, so I'm just gonna go with 1. Oops. Whisk the egg and mix it in. If it's not the right consistency, you can just add more flour in the ratio of 1 to 3 to 2 in terms of bread, tapioca, and rice flour. More flour. 30 grams of grated cheese, which will also help thicken the consistency. And hey, we got something working. Shape the mixture into 6 shapes and bake for 30 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. 30 minutes later. If you like, you could add some cranberries to it. So yeah, actually turned out pretty alright. Yeah, for a while I was kind of unsure if this was gonna work, and I was pretty convinced that it was gonna fail. Because in the beginning I added way too much egg. I ended up counterbalancing that a bit with like more flour. Also messed up the order of the instructions, because you're supposed to put the bread flour in first, and then the tapioca starch and the glutinous rice flour in later. But I just ended up adding everything at the same time. So, didn't really follow the instructions, but hey, in the end, I mean, it actually worked out pretty well. I'd also suggest using baking paper instead of aluminium foil because it's really easy for this to stick to the aluminium foil. So if you have baking paper, I'd recommend using that instead. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Baking cheesy bread the Asian way.